Hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm here 365 days of the year to take your 12 political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions before I come on. Sorry, I'm a little bit late this morning because I was still grabbing questions and trying to throw them into categories. Just a small thing. If you do leave questions, please don't put them in all caps. And don't throw in lots of extra emojis and extra stuff because I'm literally cutting and pasting them into the description. It just saves me some time. But anyway, I'm just grateful you're here and your questions are very important to me or I wouldn't be here. So thank you. Thank you. All right, 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. We have epic troll slayers who keep us safe. Thank you. Oh, and Ricky says, and the star of the show, the star of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Boo Boo Zen Kitty, who is right down here, and he's bathing. So anyway, oh, no worries, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. All right, If you're watching this on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are there, and I timestamp them as I go. So, okay, I'm glad you like the kitties. Oh, I'm glad. I saw these, and I was like, oh, yeah, I have to use these. So here we are. All right. Goodness gracious. Have we got questions today? I don't even know how many questions we have, but here we are. Let me just start at the top. Third star to the right. Straight on till morning. Okay. Oh, all right. Just right, Boo Boo Zen Kitty and his bath curtains. All right. Okie dokie. So we're gonna jump right in, and I'm trying to find something to deaden this gets really loud. But I don't. This is bizarre. I can't find my planner. It just disappeared. I was using it yesterday. I must have done something with it. So I'm going to use the Penguin Classics book today to try to lessen some of the loudness. But anyway. All right. Oh, thank you, Foggy. Oh, sorry. Thank you, everybody. All right. All right, let's go up to the top here. So we're starting with, at the top of today's hit parade, we're starting with Holly in France. Now we're starting with the January 6th committee. Was one question. And I think I covered some of this yesterday, but I'm not sure. So let's just check in. Oh, and we're getting to Boris. There were like five comments or questions about, or five questions about Boris coming from slightly different angle. Oh, Boris. Yeah. So we will definitely be getting to that. But we're just going to start with Holly and Francis' question about the January 6th committee. Next hearing is next Tuesday. It's in the morning. I will be here. We will be watching it together. And I go on at 8:30 a.m. Central Time in the U.S., Chicago time, 9:30 Eastern Time in the U.S. And we'll watch together. And I usually do readings as it kind of goes along. So anyway, at 4 minutes in, okay, let's see here. Will Sarah Matthews reveal bombshells when she testifies at the January 6th committee hearing? Also, I want to just grab a couple of questions on Pat Cipilonne, who is going to be, he's come in voluntarily before, but now he's under subpoena and he's going to be under oath. And even though there's going to be a transcript, it is going to be recorded on film. Film, you know what I mean. Video, recorded, you know what I mean. So, let's start with Sarah Matthews. Just 3 cards. Well, she's corroborating. She has, if she can say, yes, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, it really makes the case. And what about Pat Cipilonne this Friday? It's going to be, it's not going to be in public. but they can use the information. Okay. The Republican side is getting less and less. They're getting weaker. They're getting to a point where it's all coming out, and they can't use their usual tricks, and they can't. Yeah. All right. So Sarah Matthews, Sun, Page of Cups. I believe she was the deputy press secretary. Page of Wands. All right. So these are the younger people, younger, or more specifically, aides, deputies, that sort of thing. They have information. And there might be some other, I'm getting a sense of other aides and other people who were witnesses to stuff happening. Like that valet. Let's pull in the valet. Let's pull in, what did people see? Or what have you, but bringing things to light. But there's also this card, when it comes to January 6th, it always has a faint tinge of arrogant toddler, oaf creeper garbage to it. It's like, oh, great, you get my card smelling slightly like a dumpster. Ugh. But this is they've got information. All right, Pat. And I should make a note at 7 minutes in. Just a quick thing on Pat Cipilonne. I believe his name is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alrighty, how is that going to go? All right, 7 of Wands, 2 of Swords, and 3 of Wands. Oh, he's under oath. But there's a lot of things he doesn't want to say. Oh, he is tap dancing. Oh my gosh, he's tap dancing. I can tell you this. Privilege, client privilege, executive privilege. But okay, I have to talk about that. Yeah, I looked at this the other day, and I got him like going through everything he could think of, like writing everything down. And it's like, okay, I don't have to tell them that, and I don't have to tell them that, and I don't have to tell them. So, oh, Holly and Francis, there's another televised hearing, July 14th in prime time. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Thank you. I'll have to find my planner. Where did my... It's not like I go anywhere. I don't take the planner into the other... So, oh, I know where it is. Pat Cipilonne's doing what Pat Cipilonne's doing. You see this book? This should be on the shelf. Guess what is where this should be on the shelf? Oh, good grief. Not paying attention. There we go. My planner back. 14th, you say? July 14th. Oh, while I'm in here, I wanted to check. There was a question about will a Supreme Court ruling affect the midterms? All right, so hang on. The 14th, there's going to be another January 6th hearing. And it's going to be prime time. That will be number 8. All right, I will be live that day. I probably won't do a noon thing. I'll do something in the evening. Okay, but I did want to check while I was in here, because the Supreme Court, see, they have the Supreme Court, their calendar. They hear things. They have hearings, but they don't rule for a while. They rarely. My understanding is they rarely. They really like say anything immediately. Correct me if I'm wrong again. But their normal calendar. This is last year's calendar. And their calendar starts in October. They start hearing they start hearing things in October. So, and the midterm election is here. So I don't think that anything the Supreme Court is going to do is going to have much of an effect unless they do the kind of shadow docket thing, which is where someone brings a case and says, we want to do this. And they're like, no, we're not going to take that, which keeps the other thing in place. So I am going to read on it, but I wanted to just give you a sense of, in theory, we don't have to worry about the Supreme Court until October. Yay? Anyway. Okay. They do not televise SCOTUS hearings. During the pandemic, they were releasing some audio of the hearings, but I don't know if they're still doing that. Okay. True, Cipilonne will be behind closed doors, but it will be recorded. All right, at 11:30. All right, Gretchen had a question. I'd like to know if this 100-mile law that was enacted to, if this 100-mile law was enacted to aid in human trafficking. According to southernborder.org, Dolt 45 took away protections for immigrants. My understanding, isn't the 100-mile law, doesn't it have something to do with Miranda? Is it the Miranda rights thing, or? Actually, let me just so I don't read on the wrong thing. Quick look over here. 100-mile zone. Warrants are still required for home searches near the U.S. border, but the Immigration and Nationality Act states that agents can, within reasonable distance from any external boundary of the U.S. without a warrant, board and search for aliens, any vessel within the territorial waters of the U.S., or any railway car, aircraft, conveyance, or vehicle. So, and the U.S. Supreme Court, according to Reuters, insulates federal agents from accountability. Law enforcement officers who violated. All right, one quick look. The U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday made it nearly impossible for Americans to sue federal law enforcement officers who violate their constitutional rights. The court's ruling grants absolute immunity to Customs and Border Protection agents. There's nearly 20,000 officers whose work sometimes involves detaining migrant children and flying drones over protests to help with situational awareness. Border Patrol agents have more power than local police in many contexts, and they engage in the full range of ordinary law enforcement activity, often far away from the border. So the court held that this officer couldn't be sued for allegedly throwing a man to the ground and injuring him while trying to arrest another man. Clarence Thomas wrote, Congress is better positioned to create remedies in the border security contest. So I'm not really seeing that it has a lot. Ethel Volpe saying, yes, they don't have to read Miranda rights within 100 miles. Yeah, but I think there's more to it. Let's see. Human trafficking. Brutal. Divine Spirit, bless all who are being abused. Raise the spirits, raise the vibration for their freedom, for their health, for their happiness. Raise the vibration of the abusers so that they realize how wrong they are. Bless. Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups. I'm not really getting anything about this affecting being a major factor in trafficking. People just desperately trying to cross the border. That's really what's here. They already have a really brutal. But I don't. It doesn't feel like this is connected directly very much. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Janelle says agents can enter homes without warrants within 100 miles of the borders, hurting coastal stems. Janelle, actually, what I just read was they cannot enter a home. They can enter vehicles of all kinds and conveyances of all kinds, but not homes. That's what was in the news. So 1630. All right, let's read on Boris. All right, what I've got here from you guys is Deb O is asking, is Boris Johnson going to be out? Well, you asked yesterday if he was going to resign. He did. So I was thinking maybe, well, is he going to be out sooner or later? Because he says he's going to stay until a successor is chosen. B. Smith was asking, will Boris Johnson last until October as a caretaker for the new Tory leader? Or will the UK have a general election? I don't know. I've never heard of a caretaker. Honestly, I don't know what that is. But I can ask, will the UK have a general election? I can definitely ask that. And Anna was saying, is there any collusion between Putin and Boris Johnson? The energy I've always gotten is, well, it's not no. Entertainment only. But Julia Worcester says caretaker is a lame duck PM. Well, so will Boris Johnson last until October as a lame duck PM? But there was for a new Tory leader. I guess I'll take that part out. I think I'm missing some important information here. Sorry. I agree with you, Pamela Bryan. I want very much for the media to stop beating on Biden. Yeah. Ian says yes. Okay. All right. So Boris Johnson, basically, are you going to be walking your hair out the door, your mop out the door sooner or later? Julia Worcester Hypnotist says, I think what they're asking is, will he step down before October? He's still prime minister, but has resigned as leader of the party. And people say American politics is complicated. Okay. I do know in the UK you do vote for the party, not the person. But Boris, you in, you out. You out now, you out later. I hear him laughing. It might be all the partying he's done, but he's there, he's large, and he's laughing. B. Smith says he wants to stay until October to give them time to elect a new party leader, but party leader of majority party is the prime minister. So why can't his people choose a new party leader? Do you have to wait for an election to choose a new party leader? I think that's the question. That's the piece of information here. Okay. Foggy Ozark says, I know they vote for party, not a person. Okay. Viola vibes. Bonsoir from Lyon. Bonsoir. Okay. Boris Johnson. Joe Enmar. He has weird hair. Queen of Wands. I'm being drawn to how she is sitting. My throne. It's supposed to be, usually I get queens for like groups of like a party lawmakers, but he's like, oh yeah, I'm stepping down. Good luck getting me out of this chair. Rassen Rees asks, is he laughing in British? Yes, it's boiled first. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Knight of Swords, Moon, Page of Wands. Oh, there. Does he have some legal issues headed for him? I'm getting him. He's like walking but dragging his foot. Not like there's anything wrong with it, but he's like, I'm leaving. Another step. Yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, I've just got. You see, I'm having a trouble. I've got to stay because I'm trying to leave. Alley Cat says 20 members of Boris's party resigned. Hayden reads tarot. Hey, Hayden, saying he's dancing like he's trying to get mud off his foot. Aiden's going to be on here tomorrow with me, so I'm looking forward to that. This big old sweetheart. Okay. Dragging his feet. Boris. Oh, Boris. It's like he's nailed himself to the throne. I am sorry to hear. I do feel badly when we lose very talented artists. I do feel bad. So I forgive me if I'm not reacting when you guys are telling me about, famous people who've passed. I do feel for them. I've just got a lot of political questions to get through. So I've just seen it coming up over and over and over in the chat. So I was hoping, including in all caps. So I was just concerned someone was trying to get my attention. I've just got a lot to get through here, but bless his soul, bless his family. Okay. Boris Johnson. Alexander Bellino, I love that. So do we prefer Brumpy's swooped S hair or Boris's electrocution look? About neither. Empress. Chariot. Two of Swords. Good grief. I keep getting him. It's like he's putting glue on the bottoms of his feet, the bottom of his shoes. Planning him. Oh yeah, I'm leaving. Oh, having a little trouble here. But yeah, I keep getting all of the same types of mental images. His mouth is saying one thing. His feet are saying something completely different. He loves the power. He thinks he can manipulate people. His energy is terrible. Manipulative, selfish, arrogant. Yuck. Ugh. He's decided to step down. And then he's sitting. Even as the power dwindles away, the support dwindles away, he sits for as long as he possibly can. He has his shoes glued to the ground right there. That's what I got. Electra Storm says, I saw his resignation. He was gloating. So, at 25:30, let's look at 25:30. Okay, so is there a UK election scheduled for October, or it has to be by October? Is that the deal? General election in the UK. Okay, I'm being drawn to not when it will be, but I'm much more who's going to win. And I know that there are multiple parties and what have you, but left-leaning or right-leaning. Dr. Storm says, I'm confused. Does the public get to vote, or does his party? I believe it's his party. Rest well this rat if you're going to bed. Sounds like you're going to bed, so sweet dreams. Brenda C says he'll try to stay on. Oh, yeah. Super glue. Whatever they call super glue in the UK. Which might be super glue, but I can't remember. UK general election at 27. Let's do that because it isn't my country, but I will encourage all people in countries that have even remotely fair elections to please go out and vote. Please go out and vote. I am a huge proponent of voting, unless it's like Russia, where please. Two of Pentacles. Conservatives. Kind of shaky ground. Is that possible? I honestly have no idea. I haven't seen the polls or anything. I don't know what's going on. I really need to go start reading more on that. Two of Cups. For the longest time, it's Boris Johnson being a jerk. I'll check back. Oh, it's Boris Johnson being a jerk. I'll check back. Oh, Boris Johnson still being a jerk. Okay, I'll check back. B. Smith says no. The PM calls it kind of when he feels like it, generally 5 years-ish. It depends on if the party has a strong majority. Tories got slammed in by-elections when you replace an MP if one dies and steps down. Okay. Ian McGrath is saying the Tories will not win their next election. Okay. Two of Cups, Queen of Cups. Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Tower. All right, there's something hinky here, but this right here, this says conservatives are out on their ears. This says that either Labor or whatever the left, I know Labor is left, but I'm saying there are multiple parties that form coalitions and stuff. You do crazy stuff like that, whereas we just have two big umbrellas and just a little tiny umbrella in the middle or to the side. That's it. That's all we've got. But anyway, this says they're out, but there's something hinky here. Why have I got a theft card and catastrophe? What is this about? The more I get into Boris's energy, the worse it is. boy. I'm so sorry I missed who it was. Someone was asking about Boris's marriage. I'm already knee-deep in grossness. I'm not going there. Ah, yuck. Oh, boy. Threat of hope saying rigged election or dark money dealings. Okay, the next UK election. Something hinky here. Marie Sutton says, from what I understand, the party will replace him until the general election. The people who vote determines which party wins, and then Parliament selects the PM. Okay. Emperor. Ten of Pentacles. Boy, the party. They had quite the party, didn't they? Oh my gosh, Aiden, thank you. Thank you. It's very sweet. Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. What? I don't do upside down cards. Okay. UK, we need to talk about your election. I got an upside down card on the star. I don't do upside down cards. So this is important. And it's right next to the Chariot. Okay, this is the energy of, you're gonna have to walk with me through this. This is Boris and his parties and whatever. This is him having glued his shoes to, sitting there with his shoes glued. But this is an overturn. But then there's this voting silence, legal silence, an emperor. It's possible when there is a general election that conservatives are not only going to lose, but they're going to just be decimated. Or yeah, this is like a trampled. All right, let me ask it that way then. Let me spread out my, make sure I spread out my major arcana. Oh, there's a kitty. I like when Bailey curls up his back legs. It looks like a little chicken wings, little fuzzy chicken wings. Aiden says the star reversed is all about despair and hopelessness. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Hang on. Oh, it's a kitty. Oh, look at the little chicken wing. Oh, thank you, Sweet Sugar Jones. Thank you. Oh, hello, sweetheart. Hello, good boy. Hello, good boy. You're so good. You're so good. Little sweetie. Good boy. Okay. All right. Third of Hope is saying, let's check back in on this as the election years, because that is curious. Cat cam for the win. Yes, Bunny Moon, exactly. He is a sweet boy. Hanged Man. Nine of Swords, Judgment, Queen of Pentacles. I'm starting to think there of all the catastrophes and scandals. There might be more coming out. It's not going to be good for conservatives in the UK. Not good. Not good. All right, we'll check back, but not good. But anyway, Chad is back. Yes. Hanging Chad. Those of you who are new, that's what we... oh gosh, I had it written down. Who was the wonderful person who was talking about, we're talking about elections, and the hanged man came up, and it was like, oh, it's Chad, hanging Chad. That was wonderful. For Boris himself, oh, he's got plans within plans within plans. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 10 of Wands. He's dragging his feet. And the longer he's there, the more damage he's doing to the conservatives. If the conservatives had half a brain in this instance, and I'm not saying all conservatives are bad, I'm just saying conservatives, get rid of him now or you are toast. Anyway, all right. Brenda C says, at least you're abroad. We live with him. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. It's all right. We have Trump. Ugh. We have Trump and Jim Jordan and Ted Cruz, and I need to stop now before my stomach turns. All right. Here's a big thing. We've been talking about the Supreme Court, and they're basically throwing all the women's health rights back to the states. And some states basically are like, oh, I'll take that. Thanks. Shred, 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 shred. But here's the thing, and I had a message from somebody yesterday who suffers from migraines and who takes something. Now, forgive me if I've got this wrong, but they take Topamax for migraines. Well, it turns out might not able to get Topamax because on the list of possible side effects is that it could cause, it could be an abortifacient. And I'm just double checking these other two. Are these both for, I've got two other medications here. I just want to double check to see, make sure they're both for, and prevent migraines. Yes, there are other. Now I don't know how to pronounce this, but Depakote, Depakote. I don't know what that one is, but it's migraine medicine, and methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy and immunosuppressive drug. And so Big Pharma is going to take a hit from all of these other medications that could have a possible side effect. Depakote. Thank you, Gretchen. So, first of all, this is awful. Catherine Rodriguez says, Deoacote. Thank you. Are people really going to be suffering? Rhonda Cox says, I take 2 of them for my migraines. Well, there may be some states that stop allowing prescriptions of these medications. Because the message I got was, I may not be able to get any more Topamax. It's on the list of thou shalt not prescribe because one side effect is possible abortifacient. So, yay, migraines. And Depakote and methotrexate are on the chopping block too. Depakote. Thank you. Chemotherapy drug. And migraine medicines. And who knows how many others. Are states going to stop allowing prescriptions of a bunch of very useful drugs? Oh, they're just kick up all the medicine. In medicine, there's kicking up all the smoke and the, well, what could this do? What could that do? What could this medicine possibly do? What could that? And this dark figure here raising alarm over whatever. Oh, Jesus, sorry. 3 of Swords. Ace of Swords. Oh, I don't like this. 5 of Wands. 5 of Swords. 4 of, oh, jeez. Almenzi says a doctor may prescribe, but the pharmacy won't fill. Joyce Gordon says this is awful. Julia Worcester, hypnotist, says maybe Big Pharma will stop contributing to GOP candidates and direct to the Dems. Well, that's going to be our next question about what is Big Pharma going to do. There's a particular supplement that I was taking that really helped me back when, like 10 years ago, I just had a complete breakdown. And it really helped because it's not my lymph system. It's the part of your brain that's your fight or flight. What's the word? The part of it's a system. Anyway, it turned on and it wouldn't turn off. And this was one of just an over-the-counter supplement that was helping me. Also, side effect, it helps clear out your lungs, which is great. Limbic system. Thank you, Mel Broussard. Thank you. Foggy Ozark. Yes, limbic. Thank you. My brain was like, it's not limbic system. Yeah, it turned on, wouldn't turn off. I could just sit there talking to you like I am right now. But my heart was just racing a mile a minute, and it wouldn't turn off. The adrenaline spikes, just constant. And I'm just sitting there. It's like, well, then it turned out that medication had been prescribed briefly in the 70s or something. Anyway, they've pulled it from the market. You can't get it without a prescription anymore, and I've missed it. I certainly missed it through COVID because it was like, oh, I want to keep my lungs nice and clear. But, and that is tiny, tiny, tiny compared to all the medications they're talking about. When people start pulling medications from the shelves for reasons other than it's not good for you, then bad things happen and people suffer. I don't know. Why do I tell you all this stuff? You guys know more about me than you want to. But anyway, Joanne Marr says they give us headaches and now they won't give us medication for the headaches. Julie's just saying parasympathetic. Alan saying parasympathetic nervous system. Yep. It was terrible. But it's over now. But this isn't. And people are going to suffer. Yes, they're absolutely the purity test in red states. They think they're getting their voters up and going through their extremism. Insult to injury, not listening to medical advice. Okay, so yeah. Sweet Sugar Jones, by the way, great name. Not tonight, I have a permanent headache. Oh, gosh. Evelyn Hartman says, I heard in Texas, pharmacists stopped filling certain medications because it could cause miscarriages, That was a couple of months ago. I think it was about cancer patients. Oh, jeez. Hello, Hilda. Yvonne M. says in Ohio, there are doctors already refusing to fill meds for women of certain range of age. Electra Storm says, I keep hearing stories on Twitter about life-saving medicines no longer being given. Oh, boy. This is bad. So at 45, I didn't write down the last one. This is not good. 45, no, 46. I've got to go get the timing of the last one. Medicines outlawed. Not prescriptions not filled. All right, I'll have to go back to get the time on that. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. Thank you. So at now 46:30, 46:40. Will Rochelle McDonald was asking, will corporations want the laws changed to help people because they'll be losing money? Yvonne M was asking, oh, that's a whole different thing. Okay, so right now let's ask about what is Big Pharma going to do about this? Because big Pharma lobbying and donations. And I'm trying to just move along here. So there is a typo in the description box. It will bug me, but I will fix it later. Depakote, thank you. Oh gosh, who said that? Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, Electra Storm says they don't realize the domino effect this is having on people. Not even getting, yeah, people keep thinking it won't affect me, but I guess it will eventually. Oh, it will. Oh, it will. Eileen says, I'm waiting for the lawsuits against lawmakers and pharmacists due to injuries and or sadly deaths because of prescriptions not being filled. Mm-hmm. Joanne Marr is saying, autocracy, anybody? Electra Storm says, the fact that we have to hope Big Pharma wins this is so sad and scary. All right, Big Pharma. You who have given so much money to Republicans. Seven of Wands. Well, we're hoping that the far right ends up on the defensive about this, but all right, big money pharma. 10 of Wands. Page of Cups. See, they're not in a hurry to back the Democrats because the Democrats want to allow negotiations on pharmaceutical costs. And I don't know what I would do without good RX. You know, I mean, I'd have one prescription. It's an antidepressant. I'm not ashamed of that. And I pay like $20. Whereas a 3-month supply is normally $450. So huge. 10 of, oh, and that is the generic, just so you know. 10 of Wands, Page of Cups, Tower, Ace of Wands, Hierophant. Oh, we're going to be looking at contraception next. Big Pharma is going to hit them hard. Ooh, they're going to be bigly mad. But they're going to take a... it feels like they're going to take a beating from the government. And this is poor medical people caught in the middle who just want to help people and can't. Because there are all these new laws and what have you. This actually just feels like these red state governments are just going to wail on the medical establishment and narrow-minded people should not be in power. If you're going to have power, if you're going to represent people, you need to understand many things. You cannot be myopic. Big Pharma doesn't feel like it's got a whole lot of power here. It's almost like a fever takes over in these red states. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, a fever. Jesse Hill saying, tell me about it. I'm diabetic type 1. Oh, bless. Do you use something like GoodRx2? Gretchen is saying, I'd like Pluto to move on to something else now. Oh, it will. It will next year. Chat is asking, will bleeding people come back into fashion as a preference for drugs? Lisa Graham says red states will be poorer and sicker. Middle Ages. Here they come. Jeez. Women constricted, but it feels like a corset, a straight, straight jacket, corset. Six of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups. I'm getting bad energy. I'm getting a feeling. I mean, look, I'm here every single day, and I read on politics every single day, and all through this Trump garbage and all of. I mean, this channel is 4 years old. All right. Over 4 years old. And we've seen the Trump cult. We've seen the people who just focus in and Trump can do no wrong and he's God's chosen one. And, but this feels like something else. This feels like a kind of madness. A different kind of madness kind of taking over in certain parts of red states. Unfortunately, parts of that being in the government, where they start even going against it's like almost like a religious mania. I think that's the closest thing I'm getting. Now, when I say religious mania, please don't think I'm attacking Christians. I'm not. I am going to speak out against people who swear up and down that the world should be based on Christianity while they're holding guns. Jesus overturned the tables in the temple, but he never hit anybody. He never picked up a weapon against anybody. And he said, if someone hits you, you turn the other cheek. He was completely for nonviolence. So, yeah, spare me. Spare me your Christianity with your Christmas cards with your semi-automatic weapons, please. But okay, let me read on this. So somewhere around 50, and then we'll get to the other question about this, but somewhere around 55, red state religious mania. Well, it's not even religious. It's, what would it be? I'll just call it religious mania. Christo-Fascism, Kim, that's a good one. That's a good one. And breathe. We're going to get through this. This is not permanent. This is not forever. I like that. Christo-Fascism. Let me put that down here. Christo-Fascism. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. I don't know. This feels more than just fundamentalism, Sherlock. Religious hysteria, I think. But it's their idea of religion, which has nothing to do with the real one. So red state, Christo-Fascism, religious mania, religious hysteria, 8 of Pentacles. Jeez. Did you guys watch, for those of you who, there are no spoilers here, but any of you who watched Stranger Things season 4, it's like, oh great, we're going to put Jason in charge. Ace of Cups. 7 of Pentacles. 5 of Swords. 2 of Wands. 4 of Swords. They're already leaning that way. Then we have a Thief card. We've got this far right communication and silence. So what is this? Tell me what this silence here, quiet as a tomb. It could be legislative. It could be, I'm not liking this. Lisa Graham, aren't we living in the upside down? Well, there's about enough dust in my study here. I'm kidding. But no, actually, I do need dust. Evelyn Hartman, I'm with you. God is about love, not hate. The divine is all about high vibration, which is inclusive and loving and all the positive healing energy. Eileen says, I Googled a word that describes religious fervor that goes into the absurd equals zealot. Ten, that's a burden. Queen of Cups. In blue states, I've been saying this for a while, blue states and red states This is not going to be like the Civil War in 1860. This is a modern kind of, it's not facing each other on a battlefield. It's not drawing borders other than a state border. Anyway. It's going to hurt them in the long run. And I keep getting this. It will hurt these people in the long run. It will hurt them politically. It will hurt them, hurt their party, it's not going to be good for Republicans. Republicans need to the moderate Republicans need to distance themselves from this by miles and miles and miles. But in red states, it's going to get gnarly. I'm so sorry to say. It's temporary. It's not going to last more than a couple of years. But it's going to get gnarly. And I've been saying this for a while. But breathe. Hang in there. Jeez. I cut the deck and I get the death card and the Eight of Swords. That's true, Glenn Bird. Christianity has a long history of repression. That's true. It's done. Oh, Bunny Moon says, I want to cry. This is so bad. No. Breathe. We are going to get through this. In the short term, this is Pluto. This is Pluto at the end of Capricorn. It's what Pluto, the planet Pluto, it goes into a sign, and everything related to that sign, it just plows through and it brings up the muck, just the bile and the scum and the poisons, and it just brings everything up to the surface so that the sun can break it down, or it can be carted away, or we can deal with it so it doesn't fester and we don't try to grow things in that poisoned ground. And this is what this is doing. And there's been this chipping away at women's rights, this chipping away at reproductive rights, this chipping away, and all of these other things that have been chipped away, where it's finally like, okay, here, this is what you're asking for, have it. Now see what the repercussions are. That's what's going on. But it's only we can only clear this garbage from the system by bringing it up and dealing with it. So, Dragon Lady says, I'm not sure it helps those who are suffering in the moment. It can help a lot, number one, to know that there are a lot of people who have immense sympathy for you, who are on your side, who do care. This is not going to affect everybody. And also that it's temporary. Sometimes that can help a lot. But I wish I had better. Look, if it was up to me, none of this garbage would be happening. But Wheezy Squeezebox says, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Sit in the comfy chair. That's it. I condemn all of you to the comfy chair and the soft cushions. All right. At 104, let's look at Yvonne's question. We need to look at contraception. Fascism takes root when you have isolation, you have a lack of education, but also it feels easy to go along with. I don't have these hard decisions to make anymore about what to do with my life. And this is traditional, so it's got to be good for me. You'll see. It doesn't work that way. Judgment. Page of Swords. Sun. Four of Wands, Ace of Wands, Four of Pentacles. All right, these cards are saying it won't have as much luck with this one because it might infringe on what men want. I wish I was kidding. Let's make seriously, the skin on the back of my head is crawling. Going to get rid of ban contraception. Eight of Pentacles. Depends where you are. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords. Ace of Cups. Three of Pentacles. All right, the cards, the energy, well, the cards are specifically, they're not as bad when it comes to the possibility of them banning contraception. But it's not great either. It does feel like, and there will be pockets, there will be places where it's not great. But what the Supreme Court did is they threw things back to the states. So it's going to be on a state-by-state basis. And it's ridiculous. Nobody who happens to have been born into a red state, who happens to be living in a red state, should have to deal with this garbage. But it won't. Foggy Ozark saying this is insane. This can't stand, or the USA is gone. It's not going to stand. It's not. This gunk has been brought up to the surface so we can deal with it. And we can say no. No. And we go vote. And we say, we're not playing this game. So I was just looking at the possibility of a kind of mania, but it's not everywhere. And I realized that Southern Illinois is much, much more conservative than the Chicagoland area. It's pretty much, to the best of my knowledge, it's pretty much the reason Illinois is blue is because of Chicago. And if you take Chicago out of the equation, it's a red state. That's my understanding. But it is still a blue state because of Chicago. And I'm not saying that there aren't any Democrats and other outside. It's like there are no Democrats outside of Chicago. I'm not saying that. But there, for a while, there may be a case where you have to, if you're thinking of taking a new job, or maybe you have to look for a new job, or you have to think about moving. I think there will be some moving. 10930. Americans moving to blue states for rights and access. Shop Girl says, I love Chicago. I do too. people start moving to blue states, so to keep their rights intact and to retain access. I am getting, I just got a mental image of the U.S., but each state was like a neon borders, and there were some states that were flickering, like red states flickering, and like maybe one over here turning blue, a red one that flickers and goes blue. Not everywhere though, but there's some flickering where some of the neon red was solid. It's flickering. It's a mental image I got. Wheel of Fortune. This is temporary. But it's also a big wheel, which is what you need to move. Sun. Better education. People who want their kids to get a better education. Knight of Pentacles. Of course, if you have the money to move. A lot of people don't. Lovers, King of Swords, and I got 2 cards for the end. Page of Swords and Queen of Wands. Some. So there will be some, but a lot of people can't afford to move. But I've definitely got, there is definitely some serious disgust here. Serious disgust here. And that's it. We're out of here. And the more draconian the state, the more people are going to try to find a way out. And they're not coming back. They're not going to risk coming back. Okay. Keeps. Alexander Bellino says we need more Democrats moving to those states. Not right now. I believe it's very much going to be the road going that way is going to be full, and the road going the other way is going to be empty, but it's not going to be exact, but roughly. Okay. 113. What was next up here? Aha, DL Jersey Shore had a question. 113, related. If the Supreme Court gives more power to the state legislatures, will this affect the midterms? And that's why I was mentioning at the beginning about when the Supreme Court, the next session convenes, will be in October. But you know, they generally don't. They have hearings and don't generally come out with their rulings for a while. But they could shadow docket, not take certain things. Keep other things in place, blah blah blah. So, but with the Supreme Court giving more power to state legislatures, how will this affect the midterm elections in the U.S.? I mean, elections are supposed to be state by state, but I know what you're saying. There is the reason it's come up is the question of the possibility of the Supreme Court allowing state legislatures to overturn election results in their state. Strength. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. King of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 5 of Cups, 7 of Swords. No, I'm getting a lot of Democrats voting. I'm getting the Republicans who think they're all that losing. It's like, yeah, all of this pomp and luxury, yeah, it's because of your popularity, yeah, that being stripped down. People turning to the Democrats. Republicans tried to kick over the cups, but it's not working. And then they're just the right complaining. It's the election's been stolen. The Republicans were supposed to win the midterms, by a landslide, and blah 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 blah. Alexander Bellino says, I think many will be delightfully surprised when we get to where we're going. It's going to be okay. Oh, I'm with you. Two of Pentacles. Midterms not looking good for Republicans. Hanged Man. 10 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. They have to try to mess with the elections in red states, because that's the only way they're going to stay in power. The reality for them is not good. So that's all I'm getting there. And Google P says gotta run. Reconstructionist fun. All right, and I'm getting very tired, but I do want to get this one question in, and then I can move some questions over to tomorrow, and of course take more tomorrow. At 1:17. I want to answer Patty G's question because I'm curious. So I've been thinking about this and talking about it for a long time. So my question is, where did it go? Is Trump going to announce he's running in 2024? Because that's kind of the thing. I would have said no, of course not, because he wants all that sweet grift He wants all that sweet grift money. And as soon as he announces he's a presidential candidate, then all of that money comes under, well, for what it's worth to him, kind of laws about what can and cannot be done with that money. But there's some thinking he may declare his candidacy for president sooner rather than later, in the hope that it will somehow shield him from indictments, or they won't go after him within 60 days to an election. But if he's running for president, shielding him wouldn't come until 2024, summer of 2024. Unless the DOJ decides not to do anything within 60 days of the midterms. But I'm hearing conflicting things in the media about that possibility. Joanne is saying, we get through this day by day with you at the helm. Oh, thank you. You get us through this. And Becca and Johnny and Jen Lynn, and we love you all. Oh, Becca and Johnny and Jen Lynn are the bomb. They're awesome. We have great readers. We really do. Nice people, good people. So, I agree, Catherine Rodriguez. Sniffy hates scrutiny, and he does not want to give up free use of that grift money at all. So, where's Trump? Going to announce your candidacy? Oh, eat a vegetable. Blockages. Eat a vegetable. Get some of that grease out of there. Really, seriously. Foggy Ozark stopped Citizens United, Heritage Foundation, Federalist Society, and kicked the likes of Mitch McConnell to the curb. Done and done. Thank you. Government. Page of Pentacles. Moon. 8 of Cups. 6 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. I wonder if he'll try to move the grift money collections to his kids' names. Thank you, Foggy Ozark. Thank you. So he can go out there and raise money, but the money isn't in his name. And so they can still use it if it's in Junior's name or Eric's name, please, or Ivanka's name, more specifically Junior's name, that they can get around the election laws. Right now, he's just looking at that sweet, sweet money. But anything he can do to keep himself shielded, and there's a lot of evidence piling up against him, he goes out, but the money goes to the kids somehow. I think that's what's going to happen. As soon as he thinks he's shielded, as soon as he thinks it would shield him in any way, he's going to announce his candidacy. But he's going to take all that money and put it somehow in the kids' names. Queen of Cups. Strength. 8 of Swords, Lovers. Oh, yeah, but you put all that money in some form of related to Griftco. What happens when Griftco gets attacked by Letitia James, legitimately, and gets shut down? What's going to happen to that money? We'll have to look at that. So stay tuned. In a future episode, we will look at what's going to happen to all that grift money, Trump's grift money. I should write that down. I should make a note. Actually, let me just type it in right here. Stay tuned. What is going to happen to the millions in Trump grift? All right. Okay, so I'm tired now, but it was so worth it. I so love spending time with you guys, and you make this a great community. Electrostormy, any new merchandise you're selling in your store, that's coming. That's coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming. And I am working all of that out. So thank you everybody. And yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. But it's 1:40 here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel to do creative sprints. You're always welcome. Other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow at noon with Aiden from Aiden Reads Tarot, and we're gonna read on the normal political stuff. We'll see what we get. All right. Thank you. Take care. You're not alone. We are in this together, and there are good days ahead. Please remember, there are good days ahead. All right. Take care.